Hey up, I'm Phil and welcome back to another episode of RimWorld. So as per the last two episodes, we have been working on our new mansion area. I think I'm just going to designate this as the mansion because we should be able to shift a lot of people to this region. I do then think we can finally get rid of these two rooms and maybe expand this into one big old, let's say, probably freezer of sorts, maybe with even a pathway to walk on the inside edge. Because that will give us the storage space that we need to sufficiently deal with this entire area. And what's going on over here? Why is the hops... Oh darn. Oh no, wait, that's fine still because of this blockable. I thought for a second that the freezer had actually connected to our beer room, which means the warp would have gone off. Okay, no, we're good there. So, how are we going to deal with these hops? Well, we can't exactly shift them, and they shouldn't be even in the door for starters. What's going on there? Well, it's a simple thing, of course, we just check. Let's see, delete zone. I can't tell, I don't think there was anything in the door itself. A zone in the doorway. Oh well, I honestly don't know, but hopefully people grab it like that. That's what I want to see. Awesome. So I'll actually mark this to be disassembled and we'll be able to get access to the heater again if, of course, I add area 1 to the home. Add this little area to area. Add this area to area 1, like so, which means then they should be able to fix things up as required. Cool. So we're lucky that the beer didn't go off, and there was no fermentation issues. Fermentation. Yes, fermentation. So that one too many times. No, we should be fine. And besides, I need to take a look around. I don't know if there are still any more wild hogs on the map. Now, I know at the end of last episode we were very close in having them all disappeared. Very close. That's not really a great way of explaining it, but that's what we're going to stick with for the time being. And we also did have a few people come past on the map. So if there were any wild hogs left, I believe they would have been taken. They would have had a little small bit of combat, which... That said, I can't see any bodies, so I think we're fine for people to run away now. So unrestrict everyone, and also mark just this little bit here to be deconstructed so we can get access to the north entrance, which of course is our primary entrance to our facility. So that should do the trick. Let's see, we need a research project. Yes, because at the very end of last episode, well, was it end of last episode? It was close to the end of last episode. I didn't actually talk too much about it, but let me see if I can pull that up. It is under power. One down. Hello, geothermal generator. This is really good, and it exactly matches our dimensions that we've marked down as well. It costs a lot of steel and quite a few components, so we do have the components for it, but do we have the steel? Oh yeah, we have plenty of steel. And it means that we can actually build both the geothermal generators and have no power issues whatsoever. And you know what? We've got a battery storage down here, but why not make this into a little battery storage? Because we can fit several sets of batteries actually. If we were to try and map out batteries, how would this go? Going to leave things paused for the time being, just so we don't use any components, but what we could do, just so I can see how this will turn out, can we do something like this? And can't fit a second row here. That's a shame. I wonder, how about horizontal? How many can we fit there? Yeah, that can do it. That's certainly a large set of batteries, or a large battery storage. Okay, let's cancel those jobs. Maybe if we changed how we laid things out now. So instead of doing it, just trying to map this as its own room and this as an external room, what happens if we just turn this into one longish room? So then we can do something like... Probably not that, because there isn't a center line. And, oh, that fits in a lot of extra batteries. You know what? I like that idea even better. It uses so many components and so much steel. But, yeah, I like that one. That looks much better. Okay, so we'll just have to update the plan, and I do believe... Let's see, that's 12 batteries. Okay, keep that in mind. 12 batteries. Cancel them just so they don't get built right away, because there's other things we really need to be prioritising. And also probably some hauling here couldn't hurt. And Okay, I was just wondering why some jobs weren't getting done. It's because we're sleeping right now. For the love of beavers. Oh, we must pray to the sun god to get rid of these beavers, or prevent them from happening once more. How many beavers is it in total? 9. Okay, well, mark them to be hunted. Hopefully we won't have any alpha beaver revengers when people get around to it. That should do the trick. Now, what's going on again? Colonist is idle. Because you're mainly a researcher in our colony. So let's focus on something else now. You know what? I think it is time for auto doors. We are meant to be we are a futuristic. Well, what are we? We are a futuristic tribal colony which worships the sun god in a frozen biome, or a semi-frozen biome. Well, that's certainly a description of our colony for sure. Okay, but since it is night time, I'm actually just going to let things run, and I'll see you guys in just a sec. Now, Stephen, I've noticed your priorities just there. You were doing it just before. Are you doing it again? I've lost track of you, Stephen. Stephen! Okay, this is interesting. Now, Stephen is working the smelter to smelt the slag, which they're obviously pulling from somewhere. I didn't actually spot where they grabbed it this time. But, you know what? I'd rather if you actually did the hauling first rather than the smelting, so maybe we can jiggle these numbers again. Stephen, what are you doing first? Well, let's see. It come under smithing, which is a 2, which is in line with hauling. Okay. Okay, well, mark hauling up at top, which means you should change your priorities just after you finish this work. Well, in theory you should. Let's see. Smelting slag, still... you're still smelting more slag. Sorry, try this again. Smelting more slag. Why is that? I thought we just changed your priorities. And we did. Smithing is at a 2, so... Oh, unless it's crafting, which could explain it. Let's see, stone cutting, smelting, and... okay. Let's drop this one to a 3, and drop crafting to a 2. That should keep everything in line. Also hunting to a 3, handling to a 4, watering to a 4. And yep, everything is still consistent there. So, Stephen, once more, let's see what you're going to do. Hauling chunks. Awesome. Exactly what we want to see. It means it's a shorter distance for everyone else who's working at these tables here. And also the food, if we have the room, which I suspect we don't really. Oh well. Well, the good thing is we've actually got at least maybe one room? I'm just thinking. No, because we're still... Hello? Missing blocks from places. Like we're missing a block there. We obviously still need to divide this room in half, which... Why is the planning... The planning is gone. That's a little... probably because the planning disappears if you've got a job which is on the tile and the job goes completed, it pulls the planning. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, we know where the line is, so we'll just pull it there, which means the 2 doorway entrances are here and here, so that should leave us fine. And it is, of course, more work to get done, so hopefully you're hauling the right set of blocks. Those are all slate. Yeah, you probably already grabbed the sandstone, haven't you? What's this? That's still more slate. Come on, we can find some sandstone around here somewhere, can't we? Still more sandstone. And, okay, what's going on here? Now, why is the caribou meat rotting away? F. Tell me, why do you do this? I don't get it. The stockpile is exactly in the room, except they decide to drop it in the doorway. Okay, that's not good enough. We need to do something about that ASAP. I wonder. So, based on their priorities, it could be that they are dropping it outside the zone because it's the closest they can get to a stockpile to haul the items to. It's a thought. And what else could we do? We can make a secondary stockpile which is somewhere cold. Maybe just a little bit in the corner, a little stockpile in the corner here just for some spare food. But I do suspect then all this will get hauled in there and that'll be a waste of space. A waste of space in our pantry, because the pantry is just for human food or prepared food of sorts, which is still human food. Okay, maybe we'll let some of the food rot. We do have some spare, and I suspect we can't do too much about the meat either. Because unless we can move this, and even the bottom set of potatoes out of the way, yeah, there's nothing too much we can do. So, Okay, maybe we make a storage area which is undercover, which is actually going to probably be in this area. I know people are probably still sleeping here, which yes they are, but I can't think of anything better to do. So let's get a storage, or actually copy these settings for our other stockpile up top. So something like this should do the trick, I hope. So we've marked it to be the same settings, and instead of it important, we do just... That's interesting. Why is it important already? Should be low priority, and let's double check what these preferences are. Important. Okay, food and raw resources. Let's see. Raw, which is all plant material, yes. And what about this? No plant material and no meals. So this should actually be set to normal then, because that makes a lot more sense. Assuming this stockpile here isn't set for... Okay, this stockpile has been set to critical. Why did I do that? Well, I guess I just wanted food to be there, regardless of if I make secondary stockpiles in this colony. Should be normal. You know, now I have to actually keep an eye on things to make sure it's still working out, but I suspect we'll be fine. Now, cool. Freckles, you've actually taken the meat to the right locations. Now, this area isn't exactly cool, but I suspect that it's going to be better than it staying in the doorways. At least we can keep this meat for a little while longer, because now it's frozen. Dropping below 0. Cool. The cooler is cooling. Okay, and we'll get back up to the top, because we need to actually check what's happening up here, and what resources are we missing. Okay, so it's pretty obvious that we're missing sandstone. Just wondering, where's the best location to actually do some mining for sandstone now? Okay, it just seems like just along this back wall, maybe even this block here, we could chop down. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. So make a mining order for these blocks. It should hopefully give us a few blocks of spare sandstone on the side. And I suspect even mining out this shouldn't hurt us too badly. I know we do now. We're forcing our hand somewhat. We're forcing Cassandra's hand when it comes to bug spawning. But okay, we'll have to see what we can do, because we need the sandstone. This is what our colony is pretty much built off of. And I think, hey, we'll even mine all that out. It's a lot of mining to do, but we should definitely get a lot of sandstone from it. In theory. But first of all, we got to deal with Kanga. What's going on, Kanga? You are berserk because of what? Your sister died. Well, your sister died a while ago, Kanga. If you can't get over it, then it probably doesn't help. That said, you don't have a very good relationships with anyone because you're a loner, which is actually a trait, isn't it? Or is it just... Oh yeah, it is... It's a backstory, it's not a trait then. So, warning disabled, but I'm also assuming that it must have some issues with the social interaction. Incapable of social, maybe that's even incapable of having nice chats? Not too sure. Okay, well, Kanga, let's get Sparkles on board. Hopefully Sparkles did not just use a... what's this? What am I going to be calling it? A melee weapon? I don't think Peeler counts as melee, but let's get Bower involved. And that should be enough to bring Kanga right down. And yeah, see, the Peeler doesn't actually produce any stab damage, is it? I don't know if it's really good stab damage, but it's also the wrong traits I'm looking up. Hello. Let's move on to gear, and... Darn it. What? Cracks and bruises. You died from cracks and bruises, Kanga. Okay, fair enough. Okay, I'm gonna just... You're dead now. I'm not gonna reset for something so small. That was a pointless death. Quite a pointless death. If Stephen died, I would have accepted that, but Kanga, been around for quite a while as well. Reasonably good traits. That's gonna hurt people. That said, I don't think anyone had some good relationships with him anyhow. That said, I don't remember seeing these relationships here. Maybe because you're dead, you've got some positive... people are happy because of that now. That could be possible. Bower. Let's see, with your needs, your friend Kanga died, though you didn't have a strong relationship with Kanga anyhow. Ow. Well, I guess we know what to do now. I'll recruit these two and also make another grave. But now we've started using this area for storage, I wonder, do we still want to put another another sarcophagus in line? Or do we want to sort of cap things off? I wonder. Things are still paused, so we can start doing a little bit more planning. So here and obviously there, which means one across here. How about one here? 2 gap, which it doesn't actually match up. So what can we do about that? Well, cancel this job and see. Can we fit 2 along here? Leave a gap, 2 again. That's 1 in the center. Yeah, that would do the trick. It just means we can change the orientation and it sort of looks a little bit more different or visually appealing, I think, just to sort of change the orientation. It's very distinct. So something like that is how we might go with doing the rest of the sarcophaguses. But for the moment we don't need all of them, we only need 1 more. So who are we going to grab? Probably Sparkles? Because it is a construction job, I believe. Construction, that was a good choice there, so we'll get them over there, start working on it, and obviously Bower, I wouldn't mind if you actually strip Kanga, because we can always use the clothes again. So those are probably good quality clothes. Shoddy pair of pants, okay, maybe not. A parka, not too bad, and actually none of that was too great anyhow. Oh, that was a little bit disappointing, I must admit. Okay, but no, let's take a look at the cargo pods now. We need to get through all these events. Ooh, gold. Hey, we could use the gold in our temple. That'd be a great idea. You know, I like that idea a lot. Yes, I think we could do that. So hopefully we've got a storage pile that's available for the gold. So it will just take time for them to haul it in. Now, is the sarcophagus done? I wonder what type of quality it is. And it is a good quality sarcophagus. Doesn't have a body in it quite yet, but Sparkles, that is your second job. You get to not consume, but actually bury Kanga, the loner, who had friends, supposedly. Okay, so what is this? A sarcophagus? What's the art? Devastated Trouble is the name. Okay. The sarcophagus bears a description of Kanga Choco, stumbling forward with a psychotic look on his face while attempting to disrobe. His face is set in a look of twisted serenity. There is a zebra in the upper part of the image, and the overall composition is rectangular. The illustration tells the story of Kanga going berserk on the 2nd of summer, 5502. So that was pretty much only like, what's that, 7 days ago, a week ago, that Kanga went berserk. This is based off, oh, that's kind of cool. Though, poor Kanga. At least Sparkles is actually visiting Grain, so that we should actually have a few positive moodlets as well. Oh, that's right. Kanga and Sparkles divorced, and then Kanga got beaten to death. Wow. That's quite an ending for Kanga. Not the nicest, but it's what they're going to have to live with, unfortunately. Now, I suspect that we're actually not eating enough food anymore. Now, what's that? 28 meals. We have a limit of 50. We have a limit of 40. Now, so people can still continue cooking meals. I'd love to see if we can get through the food faster, just so we don't store it up here, because this isn't a great location for it. It's very likely that the meat will spoil. Oh, and a caribou revenge. Well, we have to deal with this manually. Where is Falcon? You're just there. Okay, you should have been a little bit more careful there, Falcon, because it's not going to be very good for you now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to recruit you and probably pull you up and inside. Actually, restricting people to indoors might be the safest thing. Yeah, do area 1. It means we can still access everything we need to and continue building. Correct? Yep, cool. So that should do the trick. Let's make sure everyone's still alive. And Falcon, you may not make it back in time. No, you're not. Okay. Knowing that, we're recruiting everyone apart from, let's see, Toxo. Yep, just Toxo and obviously Falcon, because they're still in a little trouble. And we're going to see if we can save Falcon in time. There is a possibility that we can't. Oh, Falcon, continue running, please. Oh, I was really hoping we could get away in time. Oh, now you're down for the count. As long as the animals stop attacking, you may still stay alive from this. Okay, no, now everyone's deciding, hey, it's going to be great to continue attacking people, so let's just grab everyone and place them here, just so we can take out there's a caribou a little bit closer to base. But no, good thing is that Falcon is still alive, hopefully without too many new major issues. It seems like you lost your right thumb, so your manipulation is becoming really poor. Okay, well, I'll have to do something about that, maybe when we can actually got the parts and the equipment for it. So, get everyone in order now. A couple of melee people as well. Bat, come on, over here as well. What else is there? Okay, they're getting a lot closer. Should have ordered people in the right way. ASAP, so something like this, and I think that should do the trick. Oh, melee people we can just keep on the side. Everyone should be safe. Keep on shooting. Melee people will come in just in a second if we haven't disabled these guys completely. Seems to be the case. Okay, that's one caribou down. 3 caribou are left, and melee are coming in fast. Very fast indeed. And, oh, that's all those 2 down. Continue on fighting. And there we go. That is all the caribou. Oh, 1 more caribou left. I lie. Came from a bit of a distance. But no, we should be fine here as well. So, kill the caribou. Awesome. Unrecruit you guys. You can do what you need to. Obviously, oops, actually, wait a second, guys. Don't run away too fast. Actually, I want you to haul in some of these bodies, despite we don't have this place to keep them. It still might be a great thing to do, and it's because people are still restricted. Okay, try it again. Fu, grab a caribou body number 1. Trado, grab a caribou body number 2. Who's this? Orange, you get to grab number 3. You get to grab 4. Val, oh wait, Val can't haul, so grab someone else. Steven, can you haul for us? Of course you can. No, you can't. Oh, Steven, what are we going to do with you? Maybe we'll just let that be. Oh, Taya or Val, or maybe Taya can do the job. Before you run away too fast, it's forbidden, that corpse. Try it again. Taya, can you get it? You can't do hauling. Oh, why can't anyone do hauling? Okay, well, that's fine there. Maybe we'll get someone else to rescue Falcon. Well, okay, at Bat, as long as you continue to rescue Falcon, I think we'll be fine. Hopefully. Now, Falcon, of course, hasn't bled out and isn't dead quite yet. The health is very low, unfortunately. Well, let's see. These are all basically bruises, so they're not going to bleed out from us, but they won't be very happy. And obviously, I can't see their traits anymore. Fair enough. Okay. Keep things moving on, and oh, what's going on now? Wake up, Binge. Bat, not the time. You've just dropped a Falcon who probably wasn't impressed. So I'll grab a second person then. Horace, you're a lucky individual this time because you're a dog, which can't help us because we haven't done the training, I don't suspect. No. Why haven't we done the release training? Oh, sorry, rescue training, not release. Well, I don't know. But let's get Sparkles over here to strip. No, rescue Falcon. And then, of course, people will get around to patching up, and all the work can continue as normal. Well, I hope at least. Pretty much all we can do these days is just hope. Oh, and there's still a lot of bodies we've got to deal with. I was hoping we could get a lot of these stripped and actually burnt. Because the crematorium is on, and was a part of the hauling job was to do the crematorium work. Sorry, not walk. Let's see. Bury corpses, haul corpses, do crematorium bills. So yeah, it is one of the jobs. Oh, and Bat, you've just overdosed. That didn't damage your health, did it? No, you seem fine for the moment. Let's see, it hasn't affected your mood too heavily, so as long as you're not addicted to it, I think we're safe. But you are now wasting the wake up, which is primarily used for Steven. Yeah, I don't know what to do with these colonists at times. Very frustrating, but no. Also, the game has been very friendly to us. We just got some sandstone blocks. Exactly what we've been trying to get for a while now. Hence, which is why, we're doing some of this extra mining here, which is kind of disappointing that it didn't provide too many extra blocks for us. That's only 3 extra blocks, which of course won't be providing us with a lot of bricks when we actually work on them at the stonecutter's table. Well. Okay, let's continue things happening now. So, I want to actually place down the geothermal. We have the components and we... Bat, why do you do this to me? Stop overdosing. That'd be nice, thank you. Okay, as I was saying, we have the components and we have the steel, so it's just a matter of time for, someone to it's going to take time for people to get around to do it, but we might as well queue it up. I think that's the best thing that we can do. So that's step one. I think, hell, why not? We're even going to place the walls down. This is sandstone, right? Make sure it's sandstone, because we don't want to waste materials we don't have. So something like... let's see, what's the door in the center? Need the doors in the center, so we're going to make 2 doors then. A door here, and oops, we actually meant to adjust this zoning rule, because we've changed how this room works now, because it's also a secondary battery storage, which is just along the back edge here. Which also, this is now a second door as well. Oh, that's a third door, my mistake. Obviously I can't count today. Well, I hope you don't mind. So we're going to mark all the doors to be placed in now. I suspect that's the best thing we can do, which is that, and oh gosh, that is a lot of doors. And I completely forgot that Bat just was binging on overdose. So how are you now? You're high on wake up and you're stoned. Well, it's probably not too safe, but at least that's helping with your mood. Okay, I'll let you continue on and just see how things turn out. Given that a large number of our colonists are sleeping, I think we're going to do maybe a quick jump, maybe a couple of days' time, just so we can get a bit of work done. So we can say in this episode we've made a little bit of progress. So I'll see you guys in, well, just a sec. Oh dearie me. What are we gonna do? Once more, we must have done something to grab Cassandra's attention, because we've got another insect hive. Now this one is going to be a little bit more frustrating to deal with. It's in a small room and it will likely break out of it very fast. Now, of course, the simple thing for the time being is to forbid the door, and hopefully no one goes on a mental break, like Bat the Junkie. I think that's probably what his new nickname really should be instead of Tender. Because the amount of times I've watched Bat break and then decide, hey, we're actually going to go on a binge, a wake-up binge, it's somewhat frustrating. You probably would have seen that in the time-lapse just before. So I'm going to have to do something about that, but probably not this episode. Now, I'll just have to spot and see how many bugs there are and how fast they're going to break through the walls. Okay, that doesn't seem too bad, though. Yeah, okay, never mind, I lie. Ooh, that's a few bugs now. I guess we're going to have to deal with this in another episode, but the good thing is we did actually get Crocodile. So we do have a new recruit, which of course we will... right now fix up their basic priorities, and I think, hey, even doctoring would be really nice. It's always good to have more than one if you can help it. Another cook, yeah, why not? Do we have a tailor? We have a tailor already. Another crafter, a hall is a definite must, and a researcher we drop down to a 4, just when we can. So that should do the job quite well. Now, I guess I can unforbid this door because it's not going to do too much given they've broken through already. So, as I was saying before, we're going to have to leave it there. There are still a few tasks up top to be done. A little bit of mining, a couple more blocks of sandstone to be put in place. But overall, we've done it, and hey, we've even got power from our first geothermal generator into the base. So we have oodles of power. Yeah, that's a word we can use, oodles. Not a word I've used before, I don't think. Oh well. So, as I was saying just before, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have anything to say, feel free to leave it in the comments below. But, as I've said in the past and will say in the future, I'll see you around sometime.